Good morning and happy Sabbath, everyone. When Brother Taka actually asked me, Sister Mimi, who is your favorite um, women in the Bible? So there's a lot of women in the Bible that really gives an inspiration to each and every one of us. But then I remember Esther. Because Esther is not only remind me of my elder sister, which is my late elder sister, who is the name Esther as well. So in the Bible, we know that the story of Esther is really in the book of Esther. So we are going to deep down on who is really Esther. So we see who is Esther. Okay, Esther is a courageous Jewish orphan who became the queen of Persia, raised by his cousin Mordecai, and her father's name is Abihail, Mordecai's uncle. It will be found in Esther 2, verse 15. Original, her original name is Hadassah, which means myrtle tree, an evergreen plant that symbolizes peace, recovery, and God's blessings in Jewish tradition. The name Esther means derived from an old Persian word, Sarah. Symbolically, it represents her rule as shining light during the historically dark time for the Jewish people. It ties to the Hebrew root, which is tior, which is pronounced as Esther as well, which translates to hide and to conceal, which is also the character of Esther when she goes to the palace. She hide also her identity being a Jewish. How Esther become queen? The disposition, it can be found in Esther 1 verse 10 to 12. On the seventh day, when the king Xerxes was in high spirit from wine, he commanded the seven eunuchs who served him, Menuham, Bishta, Harbuna, Bigma, Abagta, Zatar, and Karkas, to bring Queen Vasti wearing her royal robe, royal crown, in order to display her beauty to the people and nobles, for she was lovely to look at. But when the attendants delivered King command, Queen Basti refused to come. Then the king became furious and burned with anger. In verse 19, it says as well that therefore, if it pleases the king, let him issue the royal decree and let it be written in the laws of Persia and Media, which cannot be repeated, that Vasti never again to enter the presence of King Xerxes. And also let the king give her and also let the king give the royal position to someone also he is better than she. The next is the national search. In Esther 2 verse 1 to 3, it says here that later when King Xerxes fury and subside, he remembered Vasti and what she had done and what he had decreed about her. Then the king's personal attendants proposed, let a search be made for beautiful young virgins. Let the king appoint commission in every province of his realm to bring all these beautiful young women into harem at the citadel of Susa. Let them be placed under the Kara of Higan, the king Enoch, who is in charge of the women, and let the beauty treatment be given to them. In Esther 2, verse 8, when the king ordered and edict has been proclaimed, many young women were brought to the citadel of Susa and become under the care of Higai. Esther also was taken to the king's palace and entrusted to Higai, who had changed who had changed of his charge of the harem. Then I refer to the harem is referred to the private domestic spaces reserved for women in the traditional Muslim household. So in this time, when Esther actually goes to the during the national search, she hid her identity as a Jewish woman to protect herself and also to the Jewish people. So the preparation, there's to come the preparation. Esther, in Esther 2, verse 12, before a young woman came to go to the king Xerxes, he had to complete 12 months of beauty treatments prescribed to the woman, 6 months with oil of myrrh and 6 with perfume and cosmetics. During this time, Esther won the admiration of Higai and Enoch in charge of the harem. The crowning. In Esther 2, verse 15 to 7, Esther 2, verse 15 to 17, it says, when the turn came for Esther to do to the king, she asked for nothing other than what Higai, the king Enoch, who was in charge of the harem, suggested. And Esther won the favor of everyone who saw her. She was taken to King Xerxes in the royal residence of the tenth month in the seventh year of the reign. Now the king was attracted to Esther more than to any of the other women, and she won the favor and approval more than any of the other virgin. She set a royal crown on her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. Then how did the next one is how did Esther when she become a queen? How Esther saved the Jews? Queen Esther risked her life for approaching the Persian king without being summoned to expose Haman's plot to annihilate the Jewish people. Approaching the king without an invitation was punishable by death, by death. Esther requested that all Jews to go on fasting and pray for 3 days before she approached him famously declaring in Esther 4 verse 16, she says there, if I perish, I'll perish. Then throwing and then the next one, how she saved the Jewish, yeah, throwing exclusive banquets to the king and bravely revealing her Jewish heritage. She prompted the king to issue a new decree allowing the Jews to defend themselves. So, this time around, what we're going to take away from Esther's character. Esther's character in the Bible is actually gives us courage over fear. Esther's story serves as a lesson in spiritual bravery. She broke the law by approaching the Persian king without being summoned utterly famous words. In Esther 4 verse 16, it says here, in NIV version, it says here, go, gather together all the Jews who are in Susa and fast for me. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my attendants will fast as you do. When this is done, I will go to the king, even though it is against the law. And if I perish, I perish. So in our time, right now, we take the from Esther 4 verse 14. This core team teaches that people or us as a Christian purposely placed in a specific situation, rules, whatever rules or in a company, whatever your position, whatever you have in our society, God places each of us to accomplish a greater good. Thank you so much and happy Sabbath.